Hi guys, it's Audrey and this is my September reading wrap-up. I started the month off with Kiss the Sky, which is a part of the Calloway Sisters series. I think this is actually the first book in that series, which is like in the Addicted series as well. This is about Rose and Connor and it was so beautiful. I loved it. I gave it a 4 out of 5. It was just amazing. It's pretty much about them falling in love. They're already dating when you first get into this, but it's just, I don't know how to explain it without giving spoilers, but I loved this book and I totally recommend the series. Then I moved on to my Kindle and I read The Sweetest Oblivion by Danielle Lawrie, and I didn't love it that much. I gave it a 3 out of 5. Like, it was an okay read, but I don't get why people loved it. Like, I know this is an older popular one, but I didn't love it for some reason. I don't know what happened. Then Things We Left Behind, the third book in the Knock 'Em Out series by Lucy Score came out. And I read that on my Kindle as well because it was Kindle Unlimited. And I was disappointed. I still gave it a 4 out of 5. It was a good book. It was definitely way longer than it needed to be. It was like 600 pages or something like that. This is about Lucian and Salone. I don't know if I said his name right. When you start the book, they like hate each other and you don't know why. And you find out they were neighbors as children, and so you kind of get some background of that going through it, which I really enjoyed when we got flashbacks. However, I feel like we should have gotten more. I would have liked more flashbacks. Nice seeing the other characters in it because there's 2 books before it. The second book kind of let me down too, but the first book I gave 5 out of 5. It's Things We Never Got Over. Yeah, Things We Never Got Over, and it's Naomi and Knox's story, and it's about Naomi who gets this text from her sister saying like, you need to come help me out right now. So she drops everything and goes, and her sister kind of leaves her with a niece that she didn't know about. She didn't even know she had a niece. So she gets left with that in this town that she barely knows, and then there's this man, Knox, who's just this grumpy man, and he kind of helps her out. So that book I totally recommend. That's the first one in the series, and then this is the third one and last one that I just finished. It just came out this month as well. And it's a good series. Like, I rated the first one 5, the second one 4, and the last one 4. However, I expected the other 2 to be as good as the first one, and it didn't add up to that. I still would recommend it. Then I ditched my Kindle. Wait, real quick before I ditch my Kindle, look at how cute this is. That's my Kindle. And of course I have Xander's on it from Mile High, because how could I not? Anyway, then I went into my physical TBR because I wanted to knock that down a bit. So I read I Fell in Love with Hope by Lan Callie. I think that's how you pronounce the name. This was a beautiful book. I gave this a 4 out of 5. The writing in it was amazing. It's about this girl who lives in a hospital, and the people she meets in the hospital, these other kids, and they're terminally ill. A group of terminally ill patients, a vow to live the rest of their lives to the fullest. A love that transforms and transcends. It was so beautiful, very sad, but absolutely gorgeous writing. I highly recommend it. And this cover is everything. I know the indie cover of it too I really loved, but I didn't get it when the indie cover came out. So this is the traditionally published one. But yes, I would totally recommend it. And look how floppy this is. Good flops. Good flops. So yeah, I would read this. It's really sad though, so be aware. And it's not romance. I mean, there is some love in it, but it's more literary fiction, I would put it under. So be aware of that if you're a romance girly. Then I went into a fantasy called Small Miracles. My uncle gave me this to read. My aunt and uncle did. It's about the fallen angel of petty temptations gets assigned on this case to like make this girl do more sin. She's too much of like a goody two-shoes, you would say. And you get like character development. It was cute. I gave it a 3 out of 5. It wasn't anything like crazy good, but it was a cute little story. Again, more of just like a fantasy that's like not a romantasy, I would say. But then I read the Natural series. This series, I love it so much. I love it so much. I want to live in these books. I really do. I wish I was this cool. I wish I was best friends with these people. So it starts with the Naturals. Then it goes into Killer Instinct, All In, and Bad Blood. So the Naturals, it's about this girl who's 17, and she has a special ability where she's able to profile people. If you know Criminal Minds, that's what they are. They're FBI profilers. That's pretty much what she can do. And she gets recognized by someone, and they're like, we want you to be in this program for teenagers that have special abilities. So there's her. There's another profiler. There's someone that can read emotions really well. There's a like human lie detector, and there's one that's really good with statistics and numbers. So they all live in a house together, and they complete like cases together. And it was so good. There is like a subplot of romance in it, as Jennifer Lynn Barnes always does. But it was just so good. If you love Criminal Minds, if you love like mystery, like serial killers, like all that stuff, I would 100% recommend it. I gave the Naturals a 4 out of 5. I gave Killer Instinct a 4 out of 5. I gave All In a 5 out of 5. And I gave Bad Blood a 4 out of 5. However, I'm like redeciding. I might like, this whole series is a 5-star series to me. I love this series. This is one of my favorite series ever. So I don't know if I would stick with those ratings. I might give them even more than that because I love these books to death. And like every book kind of follows a different character. You're still always, Cassie is the main character, get it from her point of view. However, you learn more about the other characters throughout the book. However, there is a other plot line that goes on throughout all of them. So this one is more about, this is all about Cassie pretty much. This one follows Dean. You get more about his story. And then this one follows Salome, and she's the one that's good with numbers. Dean is the other profiler. She's the one who's good with numbers. And then this one kind of just hits on Michael, but that's not the most of it. This one also has a novella in it called 12, which has them 5 years in the future. 23. 6 years in the future? I think it has them 6 years in the future. And it's just a cute little like case they're on that you can see them working together, and you can see how they're like as young 20-year-olds. And I loved that. I gave that a 4 out of 5 too. I feel like novellas, it's hard to give higher ratings since you don't have much, but since I was so connected to the characters, I loved it. So highly recommend these. If you get anything out of this video, it's to read these. Okay. Then I read No Exit by Taylor Adams. I've read one other Taylor Adams book, and it was Hairpin Bridge, and I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed this one a lot too. I gave this a 4 out of 5. It's a thriller, and it's about this girl who gets stuck at a gas station during a snowstorm, and she sees a van, and she sees a child's handprint in the van. So it's that story. There's so many twists that I never saw coming, and it was just so good. I highly recommend it. I watched the movie that's on Hulu, and it was good. I wish it followed the book a bit more, but if you're a movie person, you're probably not watching this video. If you're, well, you could be a movie person and a book person. What am I talking about? Anyway, I would still highly recommend this and the movie. My dad watched it with me. I said, Dad, I read this book. I'm forcing you to watch this movie with me. And he said, okay. So we watched it together, and he really liked the movie without reading the book. So I feel like either one's good, but I would highly recommend the book way more than the movie. Then finally, I read The 7-Year Slip by Ashley Poston. I think that's how you say it. This is about a girl who inherits her aunt's apartment, and she goes in there, and there's a guy there who's living 7 years in the past. So she's 7 years in the future for him. So it's them meeting, and then obviously they fall in love. It's a romance. But she's like, is it too late? And am I going to be able to see this guy? Because now this was 7 years ago for him, but it's present day for her. So it was really cute. I gave it a 4 out of 5. I really enjoyed it. I would highly recommend it. It was deeper than just like a rom-com too. So yeah, this month was a really good reading month, I believe. Like, I had some good books. I think I read 11. I think that's correct, which is really good. I'm proud of that. Join me for October. I'm really excited to get into some spooky reads. Well, bye.